Today we are taking you with us into the community of Prospect to Villa Petru, where the view is breathtaking and the peacefulness is inviting. As usual, we've got a lot in store for you in the next half hour. So stick around and I'll fill you in on all that's been happening on the island. I'm Davia Chambers and Let's Talk Tobago starts now. Finance Week kicks off with the annual Tobago Economic and Business Outlook Conference. We get up close and personal with Tobago's only known living World War II veterans, and later, the secondary school's art competition is back, and the judges share their views on Tobago's young artists. Do stay with us.
Hey! Why don't you step into the Scarborough Library facility? It has all the knowledge of our land, people and heritage that you just won't find online. The Scarborough Library facility is now open. Tobago Library Services. Information inspires innovation.
It's a home where every room has a view. Villa Petru was constructed with this major detail in mind. Now when you visit, it's not hard to imagine why the property was named after Chateau Petru, one of the finest wines in the world, especially when you consider that owner Gary Stephen himself is a wine lover. Now, in our first story, we have highlights from the 2017 Tobago Economic and Business Outlook Conference. It's an event where stakeholders from the private and public sectors attend to learn about issues affecting the island's economy and innovative solutions to really take us forward. Have a look.
In recent years, Tobago has been laying the groundwork to transform its economy. And so the Tobago Economic and Business Outlook Conference, hosted by the Division of Finance and the Economy, is one of the key events that allows a wide range of stakeholders to contribute to this growth. It's the main event for Finance Week 2017. One recommendation to help strengthen the economy is to stimulate exports and encourage foreign direct investment.
When foreign investors come and they start a project here, they bring foreign exchange for the project, or at least they ought to. And if they don't, then we should reject that investment. We want to encourage and we want to implement infrastructure projects which are financed by foreign sources of finance.
Technology can also be used to build economic resilience in Tobago.
When you look at learning today, it is not just sitting in a classroom. If you look at what we want to do here in Tobago, it's about giving access. Some of the things we're working on is we want to bring companies like Cisco to train folks to be electronic engineers. We want to bring other companies like Angel and bring in VMware, where we train people on developing software, enabling and managing software.
ICT, or Information and Communications Technology, is an area Tobago has embraced in the public sector. It promotes innovation and heightens the potential for development.
We have started the construction of the Tobago Innovation Center at the Tobago Information Technology Limited. I am pleased to announce this morning that construction is approximately 95% completed and within budget.
Moving forward, repositioning Destination Tobago in the global tourism market should also boost the island's economy.
The island has enormous potential for tourism, not only of the sun, sea and sand variety, but also for heritage and ecotourism. And then you need to market it. What Tobago requires is spending on more effective destination marketing.
This was the 11th Tobago Economic and Business Outlook Conference. The 2017 theme was Embracing Innovation, Enhancing Financial Possibilities, Ensuring Economic Stability. I'm Caroline Wallace for Let's Talk Tobago.
It took a few years to construct Villa Petru, which was completed in 2001. It was designed by architect Brian Lewis and features 7 bedrooms and 7.5 bathrooms, sleeping a maximum of 17 people. Now, the property also features a cozy cottage and a 2-acre manicured garden. From the garden, we head to the field now as farmers and potential farmers attended a special workshop recently. Now it's geared towards making cassava a star attraction and creating a sustainable market in the region. Omadara Mills has all the details in this report.
Cassava is one of the most popular products in the Caribbean. You can eat it as a side dish or with a ground provision to complement your stewed chicken or curried goat. It can be processed into farine or grounded into flour for bread, cakes, and other goods. The potential of this versatile root crop was explored by more than 30 people at this farmer-buyer cassava workshop. It's part of a 2-year pilot project called the Cassava Industry Market Assessment and Technology Validation Dissemination. The project will look at cultivating new varieties of cassava, introducing more modern harvesting techniques, and developing value-added products. Participants at this workshop are now excited about the possibilities from the cultivation of cassava.
We looked at all the byproducts, farine, revitalizing the farine industry, and all the areas that cassava could be used. So, for example, in the feed industry, because you know the livestock area is one area that we want to develop, and it could be utilized in the feed industry, in the beer industry, and there are several other areas or several other byproducts that cassava can be utilized in terms of developing the agro-processing aspect, the value-added chain of the cassava industry.
The Division of Food Production, Forestry and Fisheries is implementing the project in Tobago. The division will get technical support and training from the Food and Agriculture Organization, the FAO, and the Caribbean Development Bank, the CDB.
Right now we have the Agricultural Revitalization Team. You know, the Chief Secretary is talking about increasing production in Tobago. So when we have the increased varieties, we will have increased production. We will probably need to bring less, hopefully less cassava from Trinidad, and our farmers will have an economic benefit by being able to sell their produce to the value-added agro-processors.
It will take about 2 months for the new cassava varieties to be prepared at the Louisdor nurseries. They will then be planted out on a number of agricultural fields. Farmers will get practical training in the use of harvesting equipment.
We are looking at getting equipment which will be used for harvesting, which is a great problem for our farmers. We're looking at mechanical equipment, tractor drawn, and we're looking at, physical one that you just have a lifter. And we're going to be evaluating them on different farms with different farmers.
The cassava project is being implemented in other Caribbean countries, such as Suriname and Dominica, by the FAO and the CDB. The aim is to ensure that by the time the project ends in 2019, cassava production in the region will be more sustainable. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Mr. Stephen was insistent that construction of the villa had to be respectful to its environment. It had to fit in, so to speak. The result? A plantation-style villa with a stunning view. Now, the education system is being enhanced to ensure all young Tobagonians get a strong foundation. Part of that process is ensuring our school principals and senior staff are well equipped to take the schools to the next level. Here's this report.
School is all about learning, but the teacher alone cannot effect change in a school environment. Principals also have a critical role to play. They must understand that the growth of teachers is also connected to student development. School leadership and management is also very important. So schools administrators across Tobago beefed up their skills at a recent training workshop hosted by the School Supervision Unit of the Division of Education, Innovation and Energy.
The decision to host this training workshop was taken at our monthly supervisors meeting, where we examined the key issues that face our district. And we are speaking about our poor literacy and numeracy index, the underperformance of our students in our schools, school leadership and management issues.
The administrators were empowered to continuously provide their skills both in and out of the classroom.
You must be able to operate at a level beyond the one that you are operating at. That is how people will judge whether you're ready for the next step. So I'm saying, keep those in mind. And if your supervisor is not calling on you, it means that they're not aware that you have competence in some areas.
Mr. McKnight told the principals and senior teachers that their institution must have outlined operating procedures which should be followed.
The children that you have in your school, the way you train them and mold them and mentor them will determine what kind of adults they become. The teachers that you have in your school, they follow in your practice and other people's practice to know how to behave as a principal.
The theme for the workshop was, Every School is a Quality School. I am Keyshawn Wilson for Let's Talk Tobago.
We've got to take a break, but when we return, we hear from 2 World War II veterans. So don't go anywhere. Let's Talk Tobago. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Happy times. Summer car done, 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 yeah, summer car.
Every room at Villa Petru has its own personality while maintaining the theme of the property. The indoor spaces inspire you to relax. The outdoors invites you to explore what nature has to offer. Or you can do both. Question: what do you get when you sit and have a chat with 2 World War II veterans? Well, we met Tobago's only known survivors during Remembrance Day celebrations as the island honored those killed in World War I and II, and they had some very interesting stories. Here's more.
Army Book 69. This soldier's service and pay book belongs to 94-year-old Lucille Dennis Cook. While in her 20s, she served in World War II as a volunteer in the Auxiliary Territorial Service ATS at the St. James Barracks in Trinidad from 1944 to 1947. Mrs. Dennis Cook still remembers life in the Army, the daily drills, her administrative duties, and even the air raids.
Joan and myself, we were in the barracks, and we went down to get some snacks and so. And whilst we were down there, we went there, yes, there was a siren, and we had to run to get in the barracks, and they closed up the gate.
Mrs. Dennis Cook later became a nurse in England. There she worked at a German children's hospital before returning to Tobago and settling in Bon Accord. It was only last year that Mrs. Dennis Cook began to share her war stories with 2nd Lieutenant Alana Nadine Henry and Sub-Lieutenant Dave Elliott. Background checks confirmed her story, which they then brought to the attention of the Veterans League. Since then, she's been honored at Remembrance Day celebrations.
I'm glad that we could have honored her at the time, and also this year I told her, I asked God to give her an additional 2 years, that was last year and this year, so that we can honor her for her service.
Following last year's celebrations, Alana and Dave discovered that 91-year-old Emmanuel Legal also served during the war.
He decided he's going to walk all the way from Lekoto to Scarborough. He dropped the boat and he went to Trinidad. He trained there for a short period of time. Then he went to Guyana. That's where apparently most of the soldiers were being trained before they go to England. Then just before, as he was being sent to England to fight in the war was over. So he didn't get to squeeze off no trigger or nothing like that, you know what I mean? He went so, but he still would have served.
Remembrance Day is commemorated by Commonwealth countries worldwide. They pay homage to members of their armed forces who served and died in the line of duty. In Tobago, activities include a parade by members of the protective services, as well as the laying of wreaths at the monument in Scarborough's James Park. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
The villa has a fully equipped kitchen and a modern gas barbecue for those of you who want to fire up that grill. And the best part, you have access to the fruits growing on the property like mangoes, avocados, citrus, and bananas. It's all covered in your basic price. Now this, nature is for all of us to enjoy, but not everyone accepts the responsibility of ensuring our environment remains clean, green, safe, and serene. So our newly appointed environmental officers have a key role in preserving the island's beauty. We have all the details in this story.
Tobago's mantra is clean, green, safe, and serene. But how many of us really think about our daily actions, such as littering on land and in our oceans, affect our environment and our own lives? Everyone has a role to play in protecting our environment. And to reinforce this idea, 9 environmental officers have been appointed. They're responsible for implementing policies, laws, rules, and programs to protect and conserve the environment. The officers received their instruments of appointment from the Division of Infrastructure, Quarries, and the Environment.
The mere fact that we would have volunteered our service is that we would have recognized that the environment is very important and there is need to preserve and protect the environment.
The 9 officers will function on behalf of the Environmental Management Agency, the EMA. They will work towards preservation and conservation of the environment.
We have been hearing about the impacts of climate change, and we have seen that impact not only in the forestry realm, but also on the marine sphere. We have seen a decline in fish stock. We have seen coral bleaching.
And the Secretary of Infrastructure, Quarries and the Environment is calling on Tobagonians to become stewards of the environment.
Climate resilience is very important, yes, but we also need human resilience because we are also doing quite a number to destroy our environment.
The 9 members are Garth Otley, the THA representative on the EMA board, Siobhan Peters, Alicia Simpson, Kurth McPherson, Kerwin Sampson, Janice Kirk, Terence Holmes, Robert Henry, and Robert Demetas. I'm Keyshawn Wilson for Let's Talk Tobago.
If you are looking for that sun, sea, and sand experience, beaches at Black Rock and Mount Irving are only a few minutes away. If you can't wait that long, but you want to beat the heat, there's a 75-foot pool beckoning from just beyond the terrace. So the annual Trade and Investment Convention in Trinidad is one of the few events that brings together some of the region's top entrepreneurs and those who are looking for the opportunity to really advance their businesses. One local entrepreneur says the TIC has opened up new possibilities for his company. Here are the details.
The name says it all. Tobago Media Concepts offers a range of multimedia services, including video recording, digital advertising solutions, even digital LED screens. Now, the company, which was started in 2011, is seeking to expand its services beyond these shores. Tobago Media Concepts is finding new avenues to expand its reach through the company's participation in the Trade and Investment Convention 2017.
We were able to not just meet our goal at being able to meet with 3 key partners that we would want to get on board with Tobago Media Concepts, but we were able to actually expand on that and bring a lot of concepts that we have planned for the next couple of years into reality, and a lot of them were executed before time.
Mr. Duke says during the convention, strong partnerships were forged with regional companies that need the services his business provides.
One of the achievements at the Trade and Investment Convention was getting to meet with the Grenada Tourism Board, and it was so remarkable to see that they came looking to find a product that we offer, specifically because they said they were aware of the product, they've been monitoring it online, and they were looking to see if they could find anything as good as it at the convention from a Trinidad company. And lo and behold, who did they find? They found Tobago Media Concepts right there, and we were able to create that link.
Mr. Duke says because some well-known companies also require media services, the company has begun to diversify its offerings.
We were actually targeted by a marketing company in Trinidad that markets regional products as far as distribution of water and marketing water all over the Caribbean. And they wanted to use our new service, which we provide right now, as digital advertising and marketing solutions. They actually gave us an opportunity to diversify Tobago media concepts and get out of the area of just video production and audiovisual works, where we can now be the main distributor in Tobago.
Mr. Duke says his company now has these opportunities thanks to the Business Development Unit, which falls under the Division of Community Development, Enterprise Development and Labour. And he's quite grateful for the invaluable support. I'm Keishon Wilson for Let's Talk Tobago.
Coming up next, our young art students are put to the test once again. More when we return. Don't go anywhere. Villa Petru is nestled snugly in the lush hills of the Prospect Estate, an old plantation overlooking the valley. It's a colorful bird-watching paradise with species from the blue-crowned mudmuts and hummingbirds to our national bird, the coquelicot, putting in sunrise appearances. Now, speaking of color, the secondary school's art competition is back. Students from the island's 9 secondary schools entered for the chance to have their work grace the cover of the 2018 Chief Secretary's calendar. So were the judges impressed? Let's find out.
From collages to mixed media to paintings and drawings, over 60 art pieces were entered in this year's secondary school's art competition. Judges scored submissions based on composition, the techniques employed, and the use of colors and materials. The judges were impressed by the quality of artwork created by Tobago's students.
For the first time, I've seen digital art in the competition, which is good. The variety of pieces that we have is really nice. You have plenty of mixed media, paintings, sculptures that we didn't have before. And so that's a good thing. Kudos to the teachers and students.
This is the 6th year of the competition. It's open to all secondary school students on the island. As with previous years, the competition does not have a theme. This allows the students to express themselves freely in their choice of materials and concepts.
What is impressive is, again, the word depth coming, is that a lot of this is taught out. This is not just some child doing a picture and saying, I'm copying this, I'm copying that. You have some very powerful ones that speaks volumes of situations that are taking place now, even within possibly their household. When you look at these pieces, you see what is affecting children, what is in their lives. They're not just painting anything. Some of them, yes, but you can see where you can see what is coming out of a person from their work and their words.
The judges deliberated for just over an hour before selecting the finalists. Their work will be published in the official 2018 Office of the Chief Secretary calendar. Mr. Superville says he's seen progress in the students' standard and quality of work.
I saw improvement in some of the work when it comes to brush strokes and brush work, the use of color. So from previous calendars, I find that you see a lot of growth in the age brackets. That means, to me, that says that the teachers are really pushing the arts and that they're improving.
The competition is an avenue for art students to develop their artistic abilities and gain exposure for the work they're doing at school. It's also a platform for children to gain confidence they need to walk in a less popular professional path. Over the years, students who have entered this competition have gone on to study art at university, win international competitions, and to develop their skills as professional artists. The unveiling and awards ceremony for the competition will be held in December. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Tobago Cool is the description given to Villa Petru by Marco Caribbean Living, a magazine that's dedicated to Caribbean lifestyle and architecture. From the outside looking in, you get the impression that the villa is floating on a sea of bougainvillea flowers. It's a beautiful sight to see. Now, police youth clubs go beyond keeping children off the streets and away from bad company. They have a vital role in helping Tobago's youth develop skills and the confidence to succeed in their adult lives. That's the aim of one club's foundation classes. Here's this story. Have a look.
These Standard 2 pupils are learning to master the concepts of less than, equal to, and greater than. They are part of an after-school program, the Mason Hall Police Youth Club's foundation classes. It was started last year to help the Police Youth Club members in math and English.
The mandate from the Commissioner of Police, is that we provide initiatives, for the young persons in terms of we engage them positively, away from, a life of crime and criminal intent. So what we have seen that this program has done so far is that it has been able to motivate a lot of the students because a lot of them are actually slow learners, and we're seeing the improvements, actually to the help in the, in a total self-development, so to speak.
Up to 15 pupils participate in each class for the academic year. This allows them to get individual attention. The children say they are seeing progress.
I like the math class because it's helping me to do my work better.
What we try to do here is to create a confidence in math, okay? So that they're able to, believe in themselves. And it's not about getting a wrong answer or a right answer, but just taking your time and, solving a problem. Okay, it might fall short along the way, but it's okay, right? Once you have the confidence, we'll see where you fall short and we try to build on that.
The classes are for Standard 2 and Standard 3 students. This will help them as they prepare to enter secondary school. Since the program began, teachers and parents have been reporting progress in the children's academic performances.
Yeah, we have actually definitely noticed an improvement because, we get kudos from parents, as well as teachers. Even with the last school term that actually went, one of the parents told us that her child improved to A grade. So these are the things that actually encourage you to continue to do these type of initiatives.
Mason Hall Police Youth Club members can also participate in the club's dance and sport programs. The ultimate goal is to produce well-rounded citizens who will make a positive impact in their communities. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
And it is now time to have Your Say, the segment of our program where we hear what you, the viewers, have to say. Today, we are asking, why is managing your money important? Now, while you think about it, we'll have a look at who had their say this week.
Managing is important because it helps you to protect what you have. It also helps you to increase it because when you know what you have, you can have a plan now as to where do you go. And it helps for stability for your future.
It's not about what you don't have, but it's about making wise use of what you do have. So it becomes even more critical because resources are not as much as you would like them to be, but still there are opportunities to multiply what you have beyond what you can imagine that you can do.
To make sure that you secure it properly and make sure you have it organized properly and for you to control it in the best manner and fashion.
Money is one of your most vital resources. It allows you to be able to do everything else that you want to do. So obviously, because that is your key to being able to do other things, managing that limited resource, your money, is of paramount importance.
That will say whether your business is successful or not, whether it is sustainable, whether it is survivable. So it's very important to manage your money, but it's also very important to invest that money for greater wealth creation.
We close yet another edition of Let's Talk Tobago, and as always, we thank you for watching. Please email us with your comments or queries about the program, and be sure to visit our website, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. From our house to yours, I'm Davia Chambers, along with the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, wishing you a safe and very productive week. We close now with a montage of the beach soccer finals.